Investing in coastal Delaware real estate can be quite lucrative, but it can also be quite costly. So today we're going to be discussing a few steps to help you from making bad real estate investment choices here in coastal Delaware. Let's go. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back for another edition of Living in Coastal Delaware. I'm Matt Lunden, your favorite coastal Delaware realtor, and today we're going to be discussing some rental options here in the coastal markets and whether or not it's a good time to invest. Before we dive into the video, as always, if you are someone that is looking to buy or sell real estate here in the coastal markets, I would love to hear from you, so please do not hesitate to reach out. Now let's dive in. With rising housing costs and interest rates inevitably going up, finding a rental property that checks the typical buy boxes for most investors has become increasingly difficult. With limited inventory, that issue is only compounded even further just because prices, again, have gone up because of that. So even though we have started to see some more inventory come on the market, some more homes come on the market, interest rates continue to rise, which is eating up cash flow for most investors that are looking to come into the market. So the question has become, is it too late to invest in coastal Delaware? Now, while I think some investment strategies definitely take a hit in the current market, there's some others that will help weather the storm just based on, and again, cash flow situation. So today, we're going to talk about a few of those strategies. So whether your ideal situation is a BRRRR method, or it's a fix and flip, or it's a buy and hold, whatever your method is, I just want to cover a few of the holding strategies today just to give you an idea of whether or not it is too late to invest or not. Again, the best thing to keep in mind during the current situation is to be more conservative when analyzing your deals, just in the event that the economy does take a downturn. You don't want to be left with egg on your face in the end. It could, again, be financially costly if you're not too conservative in your approach. The main considerations that we're going to be looking at today are we going to be looking at long-term, mid-term, short-term, and what these terms mean. Long-term rentals are going to be those that are typically a year or longer. These are going to be your year-round rentals. Typically have somebody stay in there for at least 1 year, if not a couple more than that. And then your mid-term rentals are typically 3 to 6 month rentals. And these are going to be rentals that are primarily focused around traveling professionals. And then you've got your short-term rentals, which are those that are primarily focused on vacationers and those coming in for a week at a time. So with the change in the rates, with the housing costs going up, long-term rentals have become very difficult to cash flow here in the coastal markets. If you're not focused on cash flow, maybe it's not a big deal for you. But obviously, as an investor, cash flow is certainly one thing that you need to keep an eye out for. So the big thing with the long-term rentals, it's going to depend on the down payment size that you make. Obviously, if you put down a huge chunk of change, it's going to help your cash flow. But if you are someone that's looking to get by with putting down 20 to 25%, it's going to be tough to find something that cash flows to a decent number right now, just because, again, prices are up and interest rates are up. So just make sure, again, that you're being conservative in your analysis and you're aligning yourself with someone that knows what they're looking for, so that way you're not left holding the bag at the end. The next strategy we're going to look at is our midterm rentals. So the midterm rentals are primarily, typically 3 to 6 month rentals. And in this area, your primary tenant is often going to be a traveling nurse or traveling medical professional, just from the nature of the beast. Obviously it could be anybody, it could be somebody that's waiting for their house to be, finished building. But for the most part, what we see in a 3 to 6 month capacity is traveling professionals, again, mostly in the medical field. Now, since these rentals are for a little bit shorter time period, you can get a little bit more cash flow in a midterm rental than you can in a long-term rental. But again, you just need to make sure that you are analyzing the deal properly, because while you may be able to charge a little bit more, sometimes you're going to be looking for something that's a little bit closer to hospitals, which the hospital here in Lewes is, kind of close to the downtown area where prices are going to be even more elevated. So it's just all things that you need to keep in mind. Again, just make sure that you're analyzing the deal conservatively right now as you look through these things, just because with rates and prices where they are, Again, the cash flow is going to be difficult, but it's a little bit easier than the long-term method just because, again, you can charge a little bit more since those folks are staying for a shorter amount of time. Just make sure that when you're analyzing these deals, you're checking all your parameters. The final strategy, and probably what has become the most popular strategy here at the beaches, is your short-term rentals. These are going to be your Airbnbs, VRBOs, your weekly vacation rentals. The big thing here and the big focus and detractor of short-term rentals is going to be the community restrictions. Some communities have restrictions based on length of time. Some don't allow rentals at all, or short-term rentals at all. Some you have to register each guest with the community. So it's an added layer of protection for the community, but at the same time, it's just an added layer of difficulty for the investor. And then the other side of that is short-term rentals tend to be more time intensive. You're gonna have to deal with a lot more tenant turnovers. You're gonna have to deal with getting cleaning crews in there, making sure the property hasn't been damaged by the last guest. If it has been damaged by the last guest, getting it fixed up before the next guest comes in. So short-term rentals just typically require a lot more time than a long-term or mid-term rental. The other flip side here is that we've got, in a short-term rental capacity, obviously the closer to the beach, the better prices that you can get in a rental number, but you also got to pay more for the house. So you've got to find that perfect blend, and our team has identified, a bunch of communities where the community prices, there's no restrictions on length of stay, and they've got some amenities in the community. So if you're not right on the beach, that people still feel comfortable there. And if you are someone that's looking to invest, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll share those communities with you. But again, the most important thing we need to do is just make sure that we're doing our due diligence in analyzing these deals or making a purchase, and align yourself with someone who has invested before or has helped clients invest before. Personally, on our team, we own a couple investment properties, and you need to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the right people, particularly in the current market, because you don't want to be left holding the bag, and you can get yourself in a bind in a hurry. I'm going to leave you with this final note here, and that is just, again, be conservative and analyzing your deals. You don't want to be left holding the bag at the end if the economy does take a downturn. Well, I don't see that being the case. You do just want to make sure that you're being overly conservative now, just in case something happens, down the road. That's a wrap on our discussion here on investing in coastal Delaware and whether or not it's a smart time to invest. Again, I don't think it's a bad time. You just need to make sure that you are checking all the buy boxes and fitting your parameters around each deal. If you are someone that is looking to buy or sell real estate here in coastal Delaware, again, please do not hesitate to reach out. I love to hear from you guys. And if you've made it this far in the video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below, smash the notification bell next to it so you can stay in the loop with all things first state real estate. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.